In today's video, we're going to be talking about 5 players who I think their point production is going to decline next NHL season. Starting off the list is David Perron from the Las Vegas Golden Knights last season, was signed to the St. Louis Blues. He's going to be going back to the team that originally drafted him 26th overall in 2007. I like the move a lot by the St. Louis Blues, and I think it's a pretty fair contract as well, especially since David Perron is coming off a career high in points where he put up 66 points in 70 games with the Vegas Golden Knights. It seems like everyone on Vegas had a career year, and I actually thought David Perron was going to get overpaid a little, but I think what St. Louis gave to him was just the right amount. He's 30 years old, he's a left winger, he's played in 722 NHL games, 175 goals, 269 assists for 444 points, 23 points in 57 playoff games, and like I said, 70 games played, 66 points last year for Vegas, and he actually potentially could have led the team in points if he did play in all 82 games, and I think he's still a guy who can really contribute and help a lot to a contending team like the St. Louis Blues. That is what they're trying to do, and I think they made a lot of good moves this offseason, but I don't know if I see David Perron putting up 66 points again next season. I think we'll see Perron put up anywhere from 50 to 55 points. I think he's getting up there in age. I think his prime is a little bit past him, maybe, but he could be a guy like Blake Wheeler who just starts having his best seasons till after he's 30, so you never know, but in my opinion, I just don't think we're going to see David Perron have as good of a season next season as he did this past season with the Vegas Golden Knights. Next one, I know I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for this, but it's William Karlsson. He's still very much so in his prime at 25 years old, and he had an absolute breakout season for the Vegas Golden Knights where his previous career high in goals was 9, and he broke that with 43 goals for Vegas, but I really just don't see William Karlsson scoring 43 goals again. I definitely think he's still going to be the best offensive threat on the team. He put up 78 points in 82 games, and I think we'll still see William Karlsson put up anywhere from 65 to 75 points, but I just don't know if his goal total is going to be up around 43 like it was last season. I think we're going to see William Karlsson still break the 30 goal mark, but like I said, 43 goals, I don't know if he'll be able to repeat that. I think it was just an unbelievable season. Everything went right for William Karlsson, and I'm not saying he's going to be a bad player next season. I just don't think he's going to be the goal scoring machine that he was this past year for the Vegas Golden Knights, but then again, he could prove me wrong as it was just his first breakout season, but I need to see this from William Karlsson on a more consistent basis for me to say he's going to repeat that next year and put up 40 plus goals again. So I don't see it happening, but I definitely think he's still going to be an amazing player. Next up is Dustin Brown of the Los Angeles Kings, and this is a guy who also put up his career high in points this past season at 33 years old, so it definitely was an impressive season from the former captain of the Los Angeles Kings, but I really don't think at the age of 33, playing with guys that are also getting up there in age, I don't think he's going to put up 61 points again. He's a really good career player. His career high before this was 60, and obviously he broke that with 61. He's never been a guy to be known to put up a lot of points. He's just been a good leader, a good checking forward that could chip in offensively here and there. He's played in 85 career playoff games and has 47 points. Played in 1,045 career regular season games and has 567 points. And like I said, this past season, 81 games played and 61 points. So a really good year for Dustin Brown. But like I said, at 33 years old, I don't think we'll see him put up 60 plus. I think next year we will see Dustin Brown put up anywhere from 40 to 50 points. He was playing on the top line for the most of the time for the Los Angeles Kings, but I don't really think he's capable of doing that anymore. But I think we'll definitely see him still play a prominent role with the Kings until he's around 36 years old, but like I said, I don't think we'll see him put up the offensive numbers that he had this past year. Next up is New York Islanders winger Anders Lee, and I think this is obviously just going to happen. I mean, you take John Tavares away from this guy, and I don't really think he's a 40 goal scorer anymore. He definitely is one of the most underrated goal scorers in the league, as he's put up 34 goals in the 2016 season and 25 goals in the 2014 season, and then obviously his career high 40 goals in this past 27-18 season for a total of 62 points, and he doesn't get talked about near as much as all of the other players who put up 40 plus goals, and he quietly did that because he played under the shadow of John Tavares, and Matthew Barzal had a lot of spotlight playing for the New York Islanders as well, but I just don't see them being as good of an offensive team next season, taking away John Tavares, and that's bound to happen. It's obvious. You take away a superstar like that, and I don't think your team is going to score as much goals. I definitely think Anders Lee is still going to be a fantastic player. I think we'll see him put up anywhere from 25 to 30 goals next season, but I really just don't see him at 28 years old, still very much so in his prime, but I don't think he's going to put up 40 plus goals, especially when you take John Tavares away from this team. It diminishes the power play and all that stuff, so I definitely think Anders Lee will still be a pretty good goal scorer next year, but not near as good as he was this previous season for the New York Islanders. And the last player we're going to be talking about in today's video is Thomas Vanek, who played last season, split between the Vancouver Canucks, and was traded to the Columbus Blue Jackets at the trade deadline as a rental. And this offseason, he signed a one-year contract with the Detroit Red Wings. He's 34 years old, but he did still put up a really good amount of points last season, with 24 goals and 32 assists for 56 points in games split between the Canucks and Blue Jackets. He's a left winger, and going to Detroit, I think he's a good veteran to bring in to kind of teach the young guys the way of the NHL, but I definitely don't think we will see Thomas Vanek put up anywhere near 56 points again next season. I think Vanek will put up anywhere from 35 to 40 points next year. Obviously, as a Red Wings fan, I want him to do great things. I want him to be another 50-point scorer, but I really just don't see it happening at 34 years old. Depending on what line he plays on and how much power play time he gets, I think it's possible he gets up to around 50 points again. But like I said, at 34 years old, coming off a 56-point season, I don't think we'll see Thomas Vanek play as offensive of a role as he's played throughout his career, and I think he'll take more of a leadership role next year for the Detroit Red Wings. He's been a fantastic NHL player throughout the course of his career. His career high in points came in his second ever season with 84 points with the Buffalo Sabres. An amazing player, but definitely past his prime, and I don't think we will see Thomas Vanek put up as good of offensive numbers next year for the Detroit Red Wings. That is going to wrap up today's video. Make sure to let me know down in the comment section who are some players that you guys think will decline as far as point production goes next season. And remember, I'm not bashing on any of these players. I just don't think they will have as good of point totals next year as they did this previous season. So that's going to wrap up today's video. I really hope you guys did enjoy. Make sure to drop a like on it and subscribe to the channel for daily NHL content. And I'll see you guys all in the next video.